Chris Brown with Steve Tasker, and making his weekly appearance, the Hall of Famer Thurman Thomas, joining us here in studio. And big week, Thurm, for the building. How nostalgic are you getting? Is it building in you, knowing that might be one of the last times you walk in there this weekend, or
hasn't hit me yet?
Hasn't hit you yet. Okay.
It hasn't hit me yet. Yeah, probably not until Sunday.
Okay.
Or driving on to the stadium, you know, for the 4:25 game. You know, like it's getting closer and closer. Like I won't use this parking pass anymore.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's still parking. You might be parking where the game's taking place.
Yeah, and so actually, you know, it's just been like a lot of seen a lot of stories, you know, that the Bills have been doing, and our little ESPN deal that we did with Chris Berman. So, but I probably won't, not until I'm, you know, getting in that car Sunday to drive over here and see it.
What do you think you'll be thinking about? Will you be thinking about old games? Will you be thinking about teammates? Will you be thinking about watching games here with your family since you do that now? You know, like what do you? Yeah, it's going to be rolling through your head.
Yeah, you know, I think it starts at the beginning, like when I got here and all of a sudden I had kids. You turn around, they're in the stadium now. They're, you know, so it starts from the beginning for me and just, you know, drive through all of first game of Minnesota, scoring my first NFL touchdown on the opening drive. I mean, and then, you know, watching Bruce go to work and, you know, Jim. I mean, it was just a combination of so many things like, you know, obviously 3 out of the 4 AFC championship games were here.
Right.
You know, the comeback, you know. Even though, like, the comeback is, was part of us, I still think the most impressive thing that we've ever did, and the comeback was great, but scoring 21 points in 77 seconds against the Broncos, that was like, I mean, it was a continuous momentum changer and crowd noise.
What year was that game, guys?
That was 90. That was the first
That
Super
was
Bowl.
90, the first Super Bowl.
That was it was a week before this first Sunday night game here against the Raiders.
Which was a comeback. Which was another
comeback.
Comeback. It was, and Dawson Knox was in here. We were talking about the Naheem Hines kick return and there's been a number of things that have happened that seemed like supernatural in that game. You know what I mean? That something else was there.
The ghosts.
Yeah, certainly the 77-second thing. That was an emotional wave that was just unstoppable. It felt like something else took over the whole game.
Yeah, and when you go back and you think about it, you know, Marv being the special teams guy, he said more than anything, a special team play for a touchdown would turn the momentum quicker than offensive or interception touchdoon for a touchdown.
Nate Odoms comes off, blocks it, and Cornelius Bennett waits for it to come down, catches it, and then, you know, 6'4", 230, whatever it is, he outruns everybody. Like,
well, it was just a kicker
gone.
and a holder.
Yeah, they're stumbling trying to keep up. He's gone. We kick off, and Elway gets the pass tipped into
Leon Seals.
Leon Seals tips it. Leonard Smith, touchdown.
39-yard interception.
And then the next play, they screw up. We tackle them inside the 5 on the kickoff. And they bobble the snap. Cornelius covers that. And
next day, Kenny
Davis waltzes in. It was an unbelievable moment. I know a lot of people, it kind of gets forgotten in so many moments.
Right.
But I think that was when that was one of the times in that 1990 season when we went to the first Super Bowl where the team went from being also ran into a contender and an iconic franchise. You know what I mean? One of those that people think about.
I mean, I'm getting kind of choked up now even thinking about it. You know, I mean, this is the first time this has ever happened to me. I mean, my high school and my junior high school, you know, the stadium that we play is still up. It's still up and going. You know, and now. Even Oklahoma State, you know. And this one, just so many memories. Even when, you know, I can Terry and Kim and their family walking out the first game.
Oh, yeah.
And after they
dog running around.
Right, dog running around.
Terry lost his dog.
Right, Terry lost his dog.
Has anyone seen my dog?
Right.
Classic
I'm like,
Classic.
wow. Yeah, I'm like, wow, look at this. We got a dog running out here and nobody can do anything about it but clean up after him.
Yeah. All right, so in an effort to save your emotions, I'll change the subject. As we know, James Cook has a chance at the rushing title, but he's only 47 yards
Clear.
ahead of Jonathan Taylor. And Jonathan Taylor's going to be playing with a rookie quarterback on Sunday because Riley Leonard is starting for the Colts in a meaningless game for them. And Derrick Henry has snuck back into the race after going for over 200 at Green Bay last week. He's only 137 yards behind. Thurm, you're the head coach of the Bills this week. Health is really important. You had a head coach that rested guys and didn't care about what anybody was going for because health was the priority for the playoffs. How do you handle this week with James Cook on the cusp of a rushing title, which you told us last week is really hard to get?
It's really hard to get, and I'll still say that. And but I think if you look at Sean McDermott in the years that he's been here, you know, things like this are important to him and important to these players. Like, I mean, just take for instance, like Josh is supposed for his consecutive starts, right?
Right.
I mean, I'd seen last year he went in for one play against New England, I think it was, and came back out. So these things are important, but I mean, this is huge. I mean, I would love for him to get this rushing title, and I know, you know, people were saying things early in the year about wearing him out or whatever. I mean, guy hasn't missed a beat. He hasn't missed a beat. He's been.
I'm knocking on wood.
He's
right now,
he's
by the
been,
way.
but he's been protected. Like,
Yep.
like we haven't seen like all year long. And what we talked about, we haven't seen him take a shot. He hasn't taken a shot all year long.
Yeah.
He's been able to dish out and carry the ball and get more touches. So I mean, hey, look, if it's there for the taking, go get it.
Well, I think the hope is he has a big first quarter, first half,
right?
and then just
Which he's capable of.
go wrap him in bubble wrap after that. Like,
Yeah,
say,
which
"See
he's
you next week."
capable of. I think we've seen that in the last couple of years. Yeah. So, hey, look, you don't kind of want to be sitting over there because you're going to have to be playing the following week anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
So you still want to get in there and
Stay sharp.
stay sharp and do some of the plays that you're strong at, which is running inside the tackles.
Yeah.
That's been one of his favorite spots to run the football, and you keep doing that, and you hope the game goes your way or however it may be. So, but I absolutely would love for my friend James to get this rushing title.
Yeah, wouldn't we all? Now, I got to ask you this. So the Bills come out, say they're the 6th seed, which is the most likely, although, you know, it could be the 7, could be the 5.
Right.
3 road games to get to the Super Bowl. It's a big ask.
Yeah.
I made the point earlier to Brownie that some of these teams, like Jacksonville, like Houston, they're on this real
7-game
they're
winning
on a
streak
tear.
for Jacksonville, 8-game winning streak for Houston right now.
Yeah.
How
Right.
hard is it to sustain a winning streak and play your best
They have to win
heading
like-
into the playoffs now?
They have to win 11 or
I got
12
to win
games.
12 games.
That's
right?
hard.
That's hard, yeah.
So I was like, you know, the Bills, that game yesterday, I was like,
This
that's
loss
really-
last week
Right,
might
might
be a
hurt.
blessing.
Yeah, it might be a blessing. Yeah, but I think, you know, if you look at those teams, obviously number one, they're younger. They're younger than the Bills squad.
Yeah, that's a
right?
good
for the most
point.
part, it's a
They're
good
younger,
point.
so I mean,
That's a
they're
really good point.
Yeah, so they're kind of looking at like, you know, we're kind of like, you know, hold up, we don't want none of our guys to get hurt.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they're probably going, hey man, this is
great.
it. We ain't never been in this
Give me
situation
more,
before.
give me more, give me
right,
more,
give me
right?
more.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah, yeah.
exactly. Let's keep this train going, and so it's other teams might see it differently. I think no matter what team we end up playing, Jacksonville or
Baltimore, Jacksonville, or New England.
New England, right? You know, we're going to be on the road, right? And you know, I mean, Josh is kind of the oldest guy out of this entire group of quarterbacks that we have coming into here, right? So, you know, it's just
All
like
of a sudden he's the elder statesman.
Yeah, he's the elder statesman, and it's like, okay, well, you don't have Patrick Mahomes, you don't have Joe Burrows, you know, is this your time to do it? And can you do it with what we have right now? I think you can, but it's going to take a lot of
This is
stuff going our way in order us. I mean, man, when you think about winning 3 games and going to, that's a tough act,
Well,
especially on the road.
Well, I asked him because you guys did it, not 3 games, 2 games, because the playoff pool was smaller back then.
Yeah.
But in '92, you guys had to go on the road and
Yeah.
win a couple of games. You had to win at Pittsburgh and then at Miami in the
Miami.
AFC Championship game. What
that was-
do you recall about the grind that was, doing it on the road. Now, you were a battle-tested playoff team. So are the Bills right now.
Yeah.
But just the challenge of that road, just to get to the big dance.
Well, Pittsburgh wasn't bad.
Yeah.
I think the following week, guys got
20 to 6.
energized
20
because
to
we were
6,
going
yeah.
to play in some hot
It
weather.
was right after. It was right after the comeback too.
After the comeback,
It
we
was
went
right
to
after the
Pittsburgh, and
comeback,
Frank
we
was
went to
still the
Pittsburgh.
quarterback.
Frank was
yeah,
still the quarterback.
What was that, 26 to
20,
3 or
20 to 6.
20 to 6?
20 to 6. And yeah.
Yeah,
So it was different.
It was different, yeah. But, like I said, yeah.
The
going from
comeback game
Pittsburgh,
gave us some momentum.
It did give us some momentum, yeah. And Pittsburgh was kind of an up-and-coming team at that time with Neil O'Donnell, I think it was the quarterback, and Bill Cowher was sure there. But, yeah, I mean, you're going on the road, and I named a couple of those places, like, we haven't had much luck in Jacksonville or against Jacksonville.
That's right.
Well, they're 0-2 lifetime in the postseason. 96, Jim's last game here.
Yep, here.
Lost 30-27.
Yep.
And then the end of the drought, 2017.
Yeah.
Lost 10-3 at Jacksonville.
So, I mean,
Shady had a nice game.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the positive, okay, let's go to New England. But we just beat them a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
mindset has
A lot of
kicked in.
had to
people
come back
feel
from
good
21
about another game against
Another game
New
in
England.
there.
I don't know.
Well, you split with them this year, so it's not like going in there and you've beaten them twice, and they're like, okay, they ain't gonna, that kind of thing. So and they've got to have bad feelings about dropping a 21-point lead to the
Yeah.
Bills the last time in their building. So
That's what I kind of focus
Yeah.
on. They're going to be naturally motivated to right what they feel is a wrong. You don't have any of that with Jacksonville. You know what I mean? You don't
Right.
have any
There's
of
no
that
history with
there,
Jacksonville.
right? So
It doesn't-
I almost would rather play a team like that. And look, I know they're a hot team. They had an impressive 14-point win at Denver 2 weeks ago. I mean, so I know they're rolling into the playoffs uber confident. People are saying this is the most confident Trevor Lawrence has played his entire career. I get all that, but I don't know.
I mean,
What do you? Let me ask you something different. How encouraged were you by the defensive performance this past week for the Bills?
I mean, look, we've kind of talked about it for the last 6 or 7 games. How they stunk it up in the first half. Boy, they didn't let them score 7 points in the second half.
That's right.
It's been like that wave of up and down. Like
But 13 points total for the defending Super Bowl champs.
Yeah, and like I say, and you talk to a lot of the Eagles fans, they're coming out for Super Bowl and they were still angry at their football team about the way they performed.
Right.
But I mean, hey, you got one of the top backs in the league, and he didn't have a typical big day. People have been on Jalen Hurts all year long. But I think for our defense, for what we have that are guys that are healthy right now, did an excellent job. The thing that I got it out of it at halftime when the offense got booed going into the locker room. I mean, that was like, whoa, what's going on here? And so.
No points through 3 quarters.
No points through 3 quarters. I mean, and then with all top of that, we should have won the football game.
Yep.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
should have won the
totally
football
shoulda,
game. So we've been in this situation all year long with these ups and downs of, the special teams came through when we didn't think they would come through with Ray Davis, So, hey, look, I take my hat off to my group, the running backs. Thank you guys for performing well all year long.
My mantra has been for 2 or 3 years. The Bills have been going to Kansas City and losing in heartbreaking fashion like 3 times. They can't, and
They're not in the playoff pool, and
so
neither is Cincinnati.
my mantra because of that has been, listen, this team, including this one, and this one you'd have to say this roster, because of the injuries, it's probably not as good as the rosters they've had in the last 4 years, maybe 3 or 4 years. But it's good enough to go to and do it, win it all, but you've got to play well on game day. You've got to play well on that game day. You can't puke the ball up on a short yardage play. You can't bobble a snap. You can't throw an incomplete pass, have it bounce backwards and have them call it a fumble. You can't turn it over. You got to play your game. You got to play well. If you do that, you're going to win.
Yeah, this is like kind of turned into like the year the Giants won 3 road playoff games and went to win the Super Bowl against the Patriots when they were 18-0,
That's right.
17-0.
That's right.
Yeah, that's the type of
the Giants
leadership
limping in.
Yeah, limping in, leadership, guys stepping up. It doesn't always have to be the main guy all the time. Guys stepping up. It's not when it's lose you go home.
Right.
Regular season is when, okay, we can fix this next week. There's no next week after that.
Right.
And so that's that mindset. I mean, look, these guys have been battle tested throughout and you're talking about, like, if you look at the roster, the entire team.
It's a veteran playoff
It's a
team.
veteran
Now it is,
playoff team. Yeah.
It didn't
So
start out that
it
way.
didn't
but now you
start out
got
that way, but now it is.
Milano and Poyer, all these guys.
Yeah.
Trey,
right? Who's been playing great.
Trey.
Trey has been
These guys weren't supposed to play.
No, it
let
wasn't.
alone, and they have been the guys who have stepped up and contributed in those moments. And Terrell Bernard's has played well when he's had a chance, and now Milano, Shaq Thompson has been a huge boost. He's kind of got that veteran grit kind of thing as an 11-year vet. So these, Bosa's the same thing. He's long in the tooth, but it's his first year here. But he's he knows what's going on. You get these long in the tooth guys that start showing these young guys, like, listen, you got to
do it.
You got to do it.
You got like, what?
Now's the time.
This is a guy in his 11th year, and look at him. He's still like
That's
ready
right.
to go. And
That's
those young
right.
guys look at that. And
I
be
think
like,
that
okay.
gives them something that they maybe have lacked.
Speaking of grizzled veterans, Brandon Cooks took the top off the defense a couple of times last week. That's now on film for playoff defensive coordinators that have to face this offense. How do you see that paying dividends to the other aspects of Buffalo's offense with this now on film?
Well, now with Brandon coming through the last couple of games on a couple of deep balls by Josh, now you get to see, okay, well, that's covered. What about that 20-yard end coming in behind it? So you start stretching the defense a little bit more. And the linebackers like, okay, well, we got to drop back 15, 20 yards now. So I think that's going to help.
Kincaid and Shakir?
I think so. I think so. And I think you give them routes. You have them run them routes, man. But look, we haven't seen them really all year. So now with Brandon Cooks in there, you're spreading the field a little bit wider than you usually are or have been the first 13 or 14 weeks.
Yeah. So now that we're coming down to the end of this here, when do you think you'll start saying, I can't wait for the new building. I want to go in there and, you know what I mean? When are you going to start looking forward to it? When this one's finally gone, you ain't going to have, nothing's in there anymore. Is it going to be then where you're going to say, I can't wait for the new game? And is it going to be in the off season when training camp starts or what?
It started about a year and a half ago.
Because you've seen them, you're over there.
When they took the first dirt out of the ground over there, that's when it started for me.
You were looking forward
I was
to
looking
it,
forward to it. Like, oh, this is going to be nice. And then you start looking at the plans, the layout of it, which was done by Populous.
Yeah, Populous,
I started a long time ago. But like you say, when you miss a couple of weeks and you go over there, things change. And they have changed tremendously and can't wait for, I mean, it's like, we're closing this one. I'm excited to get in this new one here. I mean, and what would make it more exciting is just kind of the stuff that we just talked about. If the team can go on a run and end up walking in that place with a Lombardi, that would kind of top it off, right? You know what I'm saying?
Hang a banner.
I'm looking forward.
We're not asking for much.
I'm not asking for much. I'm just looking forward to getting in that building, man, and creating those memories because, I mean, I don't know how many more years Josh and Dion and all these guys have.
That's
somebody's going to, when Josh and them retire, somebody else got to create more memories in this place.
There's going to be other great players that come through that building, just like there were here.
Absolutely.
They opened it up in '72, the old Highmark, and it wasn't until the mid-'80s that you and I showed up and all those jokers. So there's going to be –
There wasn't a home playoff game. Steve reminded us all of this. We actually – did a Games to Remember episode on. Bills didn't have a home playoff game in then Rich Stadium until '88 is when you guys had played against Houston in the divisional playoff.
14 years after they opened it, 72
no
to
home
86.
playoff games in there until '88.
No, 88.
Really?
I'm sorry, it was 16. Was it 16 years? 15, 16 years before they had a home.
So their playoff games were on the road.
Yes.
Yeah.
When they made it 80
every single one.
Wow, I didn't even know
that.
that.
You and I were in the first playoff game in Old Highmark.
Wow.
That Oilers game where we beat them 17-10.
Yeah.
First one. And so it was, there will be great players making their way through the new stadium, and we'll never have even known what that other stadium has looked like, let alone.
Right.
Wow, that's going to be.
That's why we have you guys around, to tell old stories.
Glad I wasn't around for War
I hate to
Memorial.
say it. I'm right there with you.
Despite where I'm headed, I'm not there yet. I'm not that bitter yet. I want to be the bitter old man telling old stories, right? Where
God.
nobody wants me.
Never
around.
mind that his grandkids.
Nobody wants me.
Never mind
around.
that his grandkids already call him Grumpa. So,
Grumpa, that's right. You are Grumpa.
I am. I am.
Thurman, thanks for spending some time with us. Happy New Year to you and your family, and we'll see you out here on Sunday.
All right, same to you guys.
All right,
Happy
that's
holidays.
Bills Hall of Famers Thurman Thomas joining us. We'll take a break. Be back with more here on One Bills Live.